One of the things that which I think is a great story, is the story of the Paulownia tree. So share that story with us, because I just think it's kind of nature's gift, to my mind.
It really is. I mean, Paulownia tree, if I asked everyone to put their hands up in the room who's heard of the Paulownia, you have, because you're there.
Three, four.
All right, there's a few of you. So the Paulownia tree is a very fast-growing species of tree. It's actually native to Southeast Asia, so it's not a UK native. But we grow it in what's called an agroforestry system. So we have it in very wide rows, growing crops in between the rows. Now, the Paulownia tree will grow to the size of a 40-year-old oak in about 8 to 10 years. And then we cut it down, and then it grows again. And that's the miraculous thing. It doesn't need replanting. But the really cool thing is that the Paulownia timber, it's really strong, really versatile, but also quite lightweight. So it's used in all sorts of different manufacturing processes. And it's a way we see of embedding carbon into products and houses and construction for centuries to come. We've got a barn at Bank Farm, which was the oldest part of it was built in 1450. And the oak that's in that building was probably 300 years old before the barn. So that carbon from back in whenever that was, 1300s, was carbon embedded from the atmosphere from that time. And we're looking to do the same thing with the Paulownia.
Wow. I mean, I've seen these things. They really are truly amazing. And the leaves are huge as well. And the honey that comes from them is almost like the added bonus bit, isn't it?
Yeah, so the leaves are like elephant's ears, and they're huge. Ours are sterile hybrids, so they don't flower, but the unhybridized version has the most amazing flowers and does produce amazing honey,
Yeah, absolutely. So we... Recently, Doug and I went on a little field trip, didn't we, down to the Cotswolds to see a farm that Doug knows the guys down there, Jonty, who runs it. It's not exactly the same as what you do, but in terms of purposes, it's on the same page, I guess, isn't it? And a really fantastic place. So we went down there and we said to them, we like your story. Why don't you film it and send it to us? So let's have a little look at the video.
Welcome to FarmEd, the unique and award-winning centre for farm and food education in the Cotswolds. We officially opened in 2021.
I'm Jonty Brunye, Head of Sustainable Farming and Food Systems here at FarmEd.
FarmEd is a demonstration farm and a destination. We are a purpose-driven, not-for-profit organisation. We provide learning spaces, run events and deliver courses that inspire, educate and connect. We host research projects and offer advice and mentoring. Ultimately, we are passionate about building sustainable farming and food systems that nourish people and regenerate the planet. At the heart of FarmEd are 3 beautiful eco-buildings, including our teaching and conference barn, a farm-to-fork cafe and a micro-dairy. The 107-acre farm is diverse. There's lots to see, including wildflower meadows and fields of sainfoin, herbal leys, heritage wheat, perennial wheat, conventional arable, wild birdseed plots and cover crops. The grassland is managed by mob-grazed sheep and cattle. Livestock are crucial to our system here. Other features include agroforestry and shelter belt planting, a natural flood management scheme, and a traditional heritage orchard and an apiary. Another highlight is our 5-acre market garden. It's run as a community-supported agriculture scheme and feeds 130 families every week, plus visitors to our cafe, with lots of nutrient-dense fresh produce. We farm with nature, not for nature, using minimal artificial inputs. We're proving it can be done. We believe, like many others, that our farming and food system is currently unsustainable and depletive. Nearly all metrics are negative at global level. We are therefore working hard to speed the transition to a regenerative and agroecological future. Our regenerative approach means we aim to rebuild, enhance, improve and reconnect. Sustaining, conserving is not enough. Regenerative agriculture, of course, it all begins with the soil and how we nurture and feed it. We must rebuild our soil health and carbon stocks. We must improve our water and nutrient cycles. We must also enhance our ecosystems and on-farm habitats and reconnect with our communities and consumers. We start at field and farm level, but must deliver at landscape scale to have true and deep impact. We all have a role to play in a regenerative and agroecological system and supply chain. Therefore, our audience here at FarmEd is everyone. That includes our local community, farmers, growers, advisors, foresters, chefs, buyers, policymakers, entrepreneurs, business leaders, investors, students and researchers. All are welcome here. So what's your role? What can you do to rebuild, enhance, improve and reconnect? If you are passionate about regenerative thinking, farming with nature, great food, gaining new knowledge and ideas, then join us on the journey. It's time to make a difference, at home, in nature, at the office and in business, but be quick.
Okay, so we had a great time down there, didn't we? It was really interesting stuff, and there's a lot that you're doing. The market garden piece I thought was really interesting, because you're doing that as well, aren't you, at your place? So how is that sort of symptomatic of a way that modern farming is going, is to have this multi-varied approach to it rather than just crops and, it was a real mix there, wasn't it?
Yeah, a real mix. And that's definitely the route we've taken. And it's not for everybody. Lots of people, I get shot for saying this, but farmers are often quite lazy. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. And I say it to farmers, so don't worry about it. And I'm bigger than most of them, so it's fine. But the point is that a lot of farmers want to be big and efficient, and they see big and efficient as the way to go and the way that they are going to do their bit to feed the world. What we have to remember is that 50% of the food globally produced and consumed is produced by small-scale subsistence farmers, not by these great big wheat barons that we see. And we're trying to remove the model back to that. We're trying to create, and we're not alone. The FarmEd's another great examples all around the country of farmers who are reintroducing, every year we're reintroducing another enterprise. So, we've brought cattle back into the business. Sheep are next. We've got turkeys. We will do 200 turkeys, not 20,000 turkeys that a so-called big efficient farmer might do, but we'll sell them direct to the consumer. We will, a word that Jonty uses a lot is reconnect. And that's what we're doing. We're reconnecting with our consumers. Actually, I've been a 5,000 acre, big wheat baron, and I've been a huge egg producer. Give me what I'm doing today every time. We never made any money. It was a miserable place to be, and I worked really hard. Now I work really hard, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
and actually, we're able to reinvest in the business.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I think kind of an invitation to anybody here who's watching, or within coordination, but you'd love to host people down at Bank Farm and show them around, see it in action.
Absolutely.
Because it really is fantastic to see what goes on here. So thanks, Doug, for that.
The Environmental Business Network is here to help all businesses adapt to and benefit from the very different economic and environmental futures we all face. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit the website to find out more information.